You ever tried to figure out your life path and thought, what the fuck am I doing here? This sounds like you. Hopefully by the end of this video, I'm going to share with you some information that may help you understand it a little bit better. In 2013, when my mom passed away, it's like I had a sudden awakening and I looked at who I became. I realized that my whole life I'd been depressed, anxious, and for the last 15 years was abusing alcohol. I realized I had a Jetwick temper and had all this pain and sadness contained deep within me that I was trying to ignore by drowning my reality out with alcohol. And 13 months later, after feeling nothing but pain, I came to the conclusion that I couldn't continue living with that amount of pain in my heart, and my life never made any sense to me. So I thought to myself, well, since I never really liked it here and I don't see healing as an option, I might as well start my car in my garage. And 45 minutes later, that's exactly what I attempted to do, only to receive a visitation from Archangel Michael. Only reason why I'm here. On October 20th, 2020, I had a visitation from the soul of Jesus when I was having a shower at my old man's house. And I started to remember past lives and being a soul before I incarnated here. And I remember expressing concern to my guides and angels about this life path they had laid out. And then I started to think about how in 2014 I attempted to take my life, and just how close I came to having my soul go spend some time in hell. And you could say that this infuriated me. And when I found out that our highest guides will be greatly rewarded if we can pull off a difficult life path, you could say I lost my shit, eventually, leading to me astral projecting and trying to shut down this matrix, only to have a being probably 5 times the size of planet Earth come up to me and say that it isn't going to happen. I ended up putting my angelic sword between my old highest guide's eyes to express my displeasure. I really went down a dark path, eventually having a fallen angel attached to me so my guides could show me, this is the path you're heading down and this is the end result. And after 18 hours of just having the most intense rage flow through my veins with images of hell flashing through my mind, I came to the realization that that was not a path that I wanted to go down. And so I realized that I had to do whatever it took to get off that path, and basically it came with changing my perspective. Trying to figure out my life path has been quite a struggle, but the good news is I have figured out a little bit of information. So if you've had a really shitty life and you don't understand why, the good news is God will only give the souls that are evolved and strong enough to handle a shitty life. You see, when 2 beings come together and decide to have a child, and they're not necessarily in the highest of vibration, a soul needs to incarnate into that family. Everyone's looking around like, well, I don't really want to go. And God's like, come on, man, I need a soldier who's strong enough to go in there. And a lot of times the struggle and bullshit we go through in life is actually our purpose. I tried to take my life in 2014, and as someone who considers himself to be an introvert and never really liked putting himself out there, I never really wanted to make social media, and people around me started to end their life, and I felt this knot in my stomach, and that this calling was just telling me that I had to share my information and hopefully help other people that are going through similar things. Understanding that the more shit you've been through, the more you're capable of being elevated to the other side. Another thing that really helped me accept my life path was just understanding that, a lot of the lessons were pre-programmed before I incarnated. They were things that I needed to learn, and when I look at who I am today compared to who I was when I was going through all those difficult times, it's night and day. So you have to learn to change your perspective and see the positives. Now, when it comes to understanding why we attracted certain individuals into our life, this is something that I've really been pondering for quite some time. I understand that there's this belief that we attract energetic matches into our life, and to some degree that's true, but to think that God's just completely ignoring this reality and not pushing people into other people's lives like a master chess player is quite silly. There's soul contracts, and I look at the people that I've interacted with and I was like, well, how did I ever resonate going to a shamanic healer that would end up, slandering my name and making up all these lies about me, and then for the next decade spending thousands of dollars on black magic trying to have me killed with death spells, only to have them returned and have her own son commit suicide. All these things, right? And I'm like, how did I resonate with that. You know, I look at the woman who came into my life, and you know, after spending months together and her hanging out with my son, and then she puts arsenic in my drink and tries to kill me, and I'm like, how the fuck did I resonate with that? Despite the fact that we do attract energetic matches into our life, just understanding that God has bigger plans for certain individuals. Not everything's black and white. Sometimes he brings people into our life because they need to learn a lesson, or this or that. I've resonated with some people that I do not resonate with, you know what I'm saying? Something to keep in mind, understanding that you are not always an exact reflection of the people that are coming into your life. Thanks to everybody that's gone out and purchased a new copy of my biography, Finding Me by Ashley Samborski, now available on Amazon. Link in the bio, take you right to the purchase page.